how you feeling and grateful stuff. I am still feeling a bit under the weather, moving a little slow, but again, better than yesterday. And I am grateful for friends. I have really great friends. And my intentions for this call is just to facilitate, get synced up. I'm still kind of like catching up after being out sick yesterday, so bear with me. And let's see. And any distractions? Not really. I'm pretty present. And I will pass it to Kotabe.
Hi everyone, I'm feeling good. Um, a little bit tired, but good. Mm, I am grateful for. Mm, I don't know. I always have like many things, and then I get blank in this. But I'm really grateful for food diversity. It's so good to be able to eat different things from time to time or every day. Um, and my intentions for the call. I don't know. I'm really looking forward for this kind of like uh, new format when we implement it. More kind of like the community call. Sounds fun. I don't know if it's going to be this one or another one. Um, and just talk a little bit about Aprendamos Refi. Uh, and those will be my intentions. And I have no distractions. Um, I'll pass it to Almond.
Thank you, Kotabe. I'm grateful for my morning practice, and I'm happy that I have time to think about it. Um, and my intentions for the call is to align in a couple of things that need to be organized between comms and comunitas, exactly as Kotabe was mentioning, the Aprendamos Refi and a couple of Twitter spaces. And just to mention that I have like a very bad wrist pain in both of my hands, so that I'm not working as late as I used to be. So yeah, for me, super important to organize because I cannot work that late because the pain is really bad. So yeah, just share with you and pass it to Franco.
Thank you, Alman. I am feeling good today. I am grateful. I don't know if it's like grateful the word, but like I got my Spanish citizenship today, so I'm really happy about that. Yeah, so I'm grateful for that.
Woo!
Yeah.
Congrats!
I'm Spanish officially now, so yeah.
Congrats, Franco!
Thank you. I'm really happy. And yeah, my intentions for the call is just going to be streaming as always and catching up, see where I can help out, give a hand, and yeah, no distractions. I'll pass it to Cory.
Hey, thanks. Feeling all right. Yeah, grateful for calm weather this week, and my intentions for the call are just to make sure synced up on everything. Want to talk about the upcoming Twitter space and also the podcast actually. Also from a comms perspective, and don't have any distractions right now. I'll pass it to Nicola.
Thanks, Corey. I am the last one, huh? So okay, I'm feeling a little slow and scattered this week. I don't know. I guess that's the vibration. Um, and I am grateful for my awareness. I guess for building awareness. Because I wanted to say I'm grateful for cycles. I'm grateful for change, but I'm grateful for being able to witness all that and like see that. So I guess I'm grateful for being aware and so much aware. Okay, yeah, building awareness sounds great. I wanna just think up on. I want to check in with the team about Meet the Makers if Friday feels good, and for our meeting, and want to know updates, what's going on. That's my intention for the call, and also I might have a just clarifying question around sub-notification, just to make sure that I know if there's something I should be doing as a leader of the Meet the Makers action. And yeah, I just no distractions. I'm just feeling generally a little bit distracted. Back to you, Ash.
All right, thanks, guys. I'm glad to hear that we're all kind of on the same page. And congratulations, Franco. That's so exciting. So cool. All right, well, let's jump into it. We don't really have a whole lot of events on the agenda right now, just some Twitter spaces and the Epidamus launch. So maybe we can just kind of like talk about those things in the agenda. So we can start with the Twitter spaces. Almond, if you wanted to kind of like give updates or speak to the Twitter spaces.
Sure. We have, well, 4 events happening moving forward, 2 in which Giveth is going to be a guest. One with the White Hat group that was reaching out through the partnerships channel here in Discord. I'm trying to find the channel with all my wheel, but I cannot find it to find the date. One sec. And then the other one is with People DAO. We finally, well, Rohek, which is the person that's the link between People DAO and us, mentioned that 9 p.m. UTC will be the selected time, but now he's figuring out a date. So we're moving kind of like slow with that, but People DAO is also in the way. And then in-house, we have 2 moving forward. One with regarding the Optimism integration, because right now Optimism is running a campaign in Giveth, in which the first 640 projects that add an Optimism wallet in their projects will be receiving 25 OP tokens, which is around $40 approx. So we're going to have a special Twitter space regarding that, and another one regarding the PFP collection, with some people coming and talk about NFTs as a way to fund public goods, kind of like also give an interesting angle of the conversation. So we have those 4, and I'll write in the chat the first one with the White Hat group. I believe is in June 1st, actually.
Yeah,
But
I think it's first. I think I saw it's the collab chat channel, I think is where.
yeah, sorry, I
No,
said
it's
the name wrong. But yeah, we have those 4 happening moving
Is
forward.
there already dates set for the promo or the Givers PFP and the Optimism one, or are we still figuring out the dates? I thought the 17th we kind of talked about, but that's tomorrow, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I was missing to align some details with Gordy, because she was half off last week and I was like also swamped in things. So we finally aligned on Friday, and I believe hopefully they will be happening in the next 2 weeks for them to not be like that late, because yeah, we're kind of like late. So I'm going to try my best to organize for the next 2 weeks.
Okay, cool. All right. So, is there any next steps that we need to do, or you guys are going to, since you were able to talk about it on Friday, you feel good about moving forward?
Yeah, unless Corey has something to add, I feel pretty complete on our alignment.
Yeah, no, it's fine. We struggle with the time zone difference to align
Yeah.
on things like this, so it's been a challenge. And also, yeah, needing to figure out an outreach strategy around it. But yeah, I think we're good now. We just need to pick a new date and move forward.
Okay, cool. Well, that brings us then to the Epidamos launch, and I saw that you had been doing some comm stuff for this. Katabe, do you want to speak to it?
Yes, yes, I do. So I created the issues. By the way, thanks Corey for being so fast and diligent and reviewing them. But we also need someone that is more Spanish speaker because the content is in Spanish. So I don't know, Almon, could you also give a final review to the Twitter thread and the LinkedIn or Facebook post for those?
I saw that you tagged me, and I saw the issue yesterday kind of late. Sorry, I couldn't keep working at that time that you sent me because I was not feeling very well. But that's on my list to review today. The first things that I'm going to be doing. But yeah,
Amazing.
I saw you that you and Corey were working really late yesterday. Well, kind of not that late, but kind of late. But yeah, doing that today.
Thank you. And so basically, it's almost all ready. Just need the reviews. I also uploaded it to Anchor. Now it is Spotify for podcasters or something like that, as you suggested, Almond, and it's all ready there. So the last part, I created kind of like a list of potential um, launching supporters and partners for the Spanish-speaking community, and I just need to do the outreach for that. That will be kind of like the last element, and the only thing that I'm not um, fully convinced. So the idea is that it's launching this Thursday, but this Thursday I'm not going to be very available because I'm going to be in a car towards Acapulco to visit my grandma. And so I don't know. I just don't want to become like unavailable. That's one part of the reason why I'm not sure if launching completely this Thursday. And the other one is maybe it will be nice to get more time for rally support with the launching supporters. And so maybe this Thursday we could launch kind of like a teaser. I also wanted to do kind of like a video teaser for the first season. So that's what I have in mind. But I want to hear just the thoughts of the community in general.
I think that if this was planned for this Thursday, I'm not sure that we are going to be able to launch it. Well, normally, maybe Corey have more clearance on this, but I think that this should pass through like more promotion time. We normally like promote things happening maybe like 3 at least days before. So the first tweet should be going out today. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to make it Thursday.
Yeah, it feels a little sudden for me too, in terms of the launch date. I mean, that's why I jumped in super fast yesterday because I saw the urgency around the content. I mean, it would just need a quick review today and we could put it out. But yeah, I normally would, I think it'd be nice to have a week in advance notice, like to start building a little bit of hype around it. But does it make a difference if we launch it this week or next?
Not really, not really. So I think that we agree on that it's going to be just more comfortable to launch it with like next week.
Sorry to interrupt, but as I think that sorry, maybe I just talked this with Ashley, but we are launching a GM episode every, so it would overlap with the week of which I don't mind, but I don't know. I think having two podcasts being announced on the same week, kind of like getting each other's attention. So I don't think that next week is a good option. Maybe very early next week. Maybe it's not on a Thursday. Just to keep that in mind.
Yeah, could be other day than a Thursday. So you cut there for a second, Almond. You said that you're going to launch the GM on Thursday next week.
Now we launch every Friday a new episode, so we're having next Friday a new episode at 9 a.m. Mexico time.
Okay, I see. So the idea is rather maybe not having it so close to the day that we're launching the other episode. So maybe Wednesday or Tuesday or something like that.
Yeah, maybe Monday or like the less close as possible. Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Corey, do you have thoughts on it?
No, I think that sounds fine. And also, we have now content in the works, right? That's being prepped. So that's the most important thing as well. It gives some more time.
So like this coming Monday then, and would you be available on that day, Katabe? Like on the 22nd?
Uh, yes, I should be. It's the day that I'm coming back also from Acapulco, but I should be coming back in the night, so I should be able to work in the morning. There should be no problem with that.
Okay, and this is gonna be like via StreamYard, right? So
I think that we're only going to post it on YouTube and on Spotify.
okay. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
I'll just reserve some time in the comms meeting for this as well. I'm a little confused because this is like pretty much a comms topic right now. So, but we're talking about it in this call. So I don't know. I don't want to like use people's time twice, but
Yeah, it might be good to find a better like flow too of things that start here and then move to comms and like at what point that, yeah.
yeah, this is pretty comm specific now. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, well let's talk about the rest there then. So that will bring us to meet the makers. Nicola?
Yes, I was just looking at the doodle posted in the channel, and it's picked Friday. That was the day that worked the best for us. So Friday, 9 a.m. Costa Rica time. It's already in the Giveth calendar. If you are in this call and you have a feedback, you have opinion, you have ideas, something that could help us foresee next seasons, you have ideas about next seasons, you have ideas about or feedback about like featuring projects, what types of projects, anything around Meet the Makers. I'm always welcoming and eager to get more feedback. You can come and join the session or write anything you want. Any type of feedback in the document. The link is in the chat. We have this document ready for it. So yeah, if you have anything to share around Meet the Makers, please go in and fill it in, or come on a Friday and join our meeting, please.
Yeah, cool. I got the invite earlier, so I plan to come. And also, I think I've already left some feedback here in the doc, but that'll be nice to brainstorm some new things and see if we have new ideas for future episodes. So maybe start to plan the next one.
Yes. Thank you.
Cool. So Claire put together this doodle before she went on her road trip for a project survey results. And this was something I kind of wanted to touch base with you as well, Corey, as we're like working towards this like marketing and strategy and stuff with a mod and in between comms and kind of like how it moves forward with subdification. But before Claire is no longer a contributor at Giveth, I would love for us to have a session with her and maybe like this is something we can do with strategy and it'll be like comms and community together and we could have like a strategy session. But I would love to go over the results of like the surveys that we did and kind of figure out how we can incorporate that into our strategy and our goals as groups going forward. I think that actually all of Giveth working groups should try to take some of these things into consideration when we're planning our roadmaps and creating new features or whatever. But she did put together this doodle. I think I'm the only one that filled it out. Her availability didn't look so great, so maybe if it's not this week, then we try to do another one next week. But I don't know. What do you think, Corey?
Yeah, 100%. I've been looking at it a lot recently as like Ahmad and I've been having weekly syncs on strategy. So but like we're in the first part of just analyzing what we've been doing so far. And then, the next step is like, this part. So I didn't know about this doodle. I'll make sure to fill that out right now. And that's a
Yeah,
great idea.
cool. And like I said, if it does, I think she only put like 2 days this week that she might be available because she was still on the road trip. But it would be cool to have Claire there if we could, because she like went through all of it. Probably has the most insight of all the results. But so if that doodle time doesn't work, we can pick another one. I just wanted to make sure that we at least start to take some of this. I think it's really important. This feedback is really valuable. And if anybody else wants to come or be a part of that, or maybe if we wanted to look at it like with a mod as well, try to get him involved.
Could you link the agenda here really quick? Just
Oh
trying
yeah,
to.
sorry,
Thank you.
no problem. And I think it's in the Communitas channel too, the link for it. Yeah, she didn't really like she didn't really like say much about it whenever she posted the link, so no worries. Just like, here's a strategy thing. Okay. And I haven't seen her in this call for a few weeks now. Well, moving forward, just to subjectification and maybe check in with you guys on how it's going using Clockify and see if you guys need any help or had any questions about Clockify and kind of like where we're at here. I think it's pretty much like just till the end of the month we're doing this, and then the next steps will be to start to build like some sort of idea for a budget and at least be able to look at how much time we're spending and things like that. I know for me, it's been really helpful using Clockify. I thought I was not going to like it, and I actually really like it.
In my experience, I was like being really, how do you say this? Very strict and disciplined with my Clockify, and then honestly, yeah, like last week I got like this really bad carpal tunnel, and then I've been like struggling with that, and then I stopped. Like I'm not tracking that anymore because I got like multiple things happening, but maybe I can maybe restart again, try to restart again, and then make maybe an average about like my hours, because yeah, last week I was doing a very great job and then I stopped.
Yeah, and it seems like one of those things that like if you kind of get behind on it, then it's hard to catch up or go back and then figure out what you were doing and stuff. So yeah, for me too, it's like if I don't stay on top of it, then it's easy to just let it go.
Yeah, same here. What helps me, you can definitely just go average with the things that you know that you did. But also, what helps me if I can like want to be more diligent with it, I just go to the history of my browser, and that usually helps a lot. It's kind of like fast, but of course, it doesn't seize a lot of things like with Discord or any other thing that is not related to your browser.
All right, well, let's at least try to stick with it just until the end of the month. And if we want to stop doing it, that's fine. It'll just like be really helpful for us to get this budget going for the sub-deification stuff and have that information. I don't think that you should have to do it forever if you don't want to. I think I'll keep trying to do it personally just because, like I said, it helps me really like manage my time and know what I'm doing. But, and then so I guess I just wanted to touch back again on this call. Will probably, the change will start, I don't know, maybe at the end of the month or maybe next week. And we wanted to ask you guys like when you wanted to start doing this call bi-weekly instead of weekly. And then it would be nice to have like the lead of each of the products that we're working on, come similar to the community call and just give updates on the parts that the products and stuff that you're working on. So it's be less of like me reading through the agenda and guiding everybody and more of like passing it around to each of the different groups or products and get updates there. And so I just wanted to kind of like outline who is the lead on these products and make sure that we all feel good about where I put the names, because I don't want to make you the leader if you don't want to be the leader. But so I just wanted to kind of go over these and make sure that we all feel good, and maybe ask you, Almond, about like, I know that your name's on a lot of these, so I want to make sure that you feel supported and that you're not just like leading too many things. And if there was any of these things that you wanted help with, I thought maybe like Giveth Essentials, I could take over the lead and start helping to schedule some of those if you want, or if you still want, you were kind of like leading, but I don't know. Just wanted to check in with you guys.
That would be great. I can always support you creating the guides for the essentials. I have one that Nicola knows, and I'm super eager for that one because I've been just poking her since forever. It would be great if you can take the leadership over. I would really appreciate. Also, with the ambassador program, I've been like really swamped in so many things. So I already asked Kotave help to create the materials. So that's very helpful too. So yeah, I will really appreciate maybe if you take on that, and then again, I can help you with the guides and creations, but maybe the organization part would be helpful.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't think any of this means that you're alone or have to do it all by yourself. Just more of somebody who's kind of like the product manager on some of these things that are making sure that the tasks get followed through on, which I can totally take it over for Giveth Essentials. And let me know if any of these other things start to feel like too much, because I know you've got a lot on your plate. And then I've got Nicola down for Meet the Maker, so I think like
Yeah,
yeah, and Kotave on
absolutely.
Aprendamos. So I think like, yeah, and would we want to start doing this call bi-weekly starting next month? Does that feel good? So we'll have 2 more weekly ones, and then the 6th, like maybe we do the 13th and the 27th of June. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Sounds good.
Yeah?
Sounds
Okay.
good to me. Even like if we started next week, I feel like we can do that.
Yeah. So
We
skip
can do
next
that as
week
soon as
and
we
then
want.
back on the
But
30th.
yeah, I don't know how about others feel, but I'm feeling good about launching in now and starting to follow this and see how it
Okay.
evolves. But I don't know how about others. I don't want to be unilateral, one-sided.
Yeah, I think it makes sense.
Yeah. How about you, Almond and Kotabe? Do you guys feel good about skipping next week and then coming back on the 30th?
Yeah, for me it's cool. I also feel confident because I know that I sync with you weekly. So for me, it's like
Yeah, and I
I
think that's
agree
kind
with
of
that.
yeah, I think that's kind of the goal, is that this call feels kind of redundant whenever we could be using this time to like have product syncs or something. We could have an ambassador's sync for 30 minutes if we need to that week, where it will just give a lot more space to actually like be working on some of these products, because I think we've all come to this call already pretty up to date with what's going on. So yeah, well, let's try it. And if I don't know, we'll just go forward. Like we could skip next week and we'll come back then on the 30th. And in the meantime, if we need to have syncs on different things, we just schedule them apart.
Perfect.
Okay. Cool.
So now when I want to discuss the date finally picking up the date. Sorry, Almond, about the conflict resolution essentials. I'll talk to you, Ashley.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. And we'll just see how it goes. If we feel like we're starting to not be in sync with each other and we need to come back and have more of this structure, then we can do that. I just want to give it a try because I feel like it will actually give us a lot more space to be actually doing stuff. All right. Next up, we have ambassador program. Do you want to tell us a little bit? I'm sorry I missed yesterday, but I just was not good at all.
Oh, no worries, no worries. I was really wondering if you were okay. Happy to see you now. Yeah, so the ambassador program, very interesting things has been happening with this pilot. We have 4 active ambassadors right now from, I don't know, like a 12, 15 maybe cohort that sign up. So that's like an interesting insight of the conversion funnel of what it can happen in the official launch. Those are Mayecheo, also Soho, and Mai. Mai is in Germany, actually. So interesting. A good thing is that 4 of them, they're very invested. And then the other ones kind of like drop the ball, just lose interest. And then, yeah, they just like start dropping off. Another very interesting insight that I'm noticing is that 3 months might be too much, although there's so many things to cover on Giveth, and the knowledge could like very easily fill the 3 months. I'm noticing that 3 months to keep them full invested every Monday, same time full present can be hard, having in mind that they have jobs, that this is not something that is full-time or even like half-time rewarded, right? So also I would like to maybe review the modules and maybe cut some things that are not really necessary to start as onboarding projects and being an ambassador, and maybe just swap for more meetings in which we can review their work, because I've been noticing too that yeah, we're sharing the Giveth topics with them, but they're very eager to share their questions, the projects that they onboarded, how they did it, their struggles. So maybe dedicate more time to like teamwork and team building with the ambassadors. And the last insight that I would love to share is specifically that team bonding that I've been noticing with the ambassadors that are active, especially Soho, Maye, and Mai is a girl thing, I don't know, but I've noticed that they are figuring out that a way in which they could succeed in these 3 months goals, meaning onboard 3 verified projects, get 30 USD donations. A good strategy could be come together and then support the projects that they are getting into the platform to support each other with different activities. So that's an interesting thing that I've been noticing, that it might be happening with the next cohorts, that this could be something beneficial, because at the end they do not have contact with all of us that we are full-time, right? So they will not get praised as much. So it's convenient for them if they join forces in order to get more praise between them, in order to create things that could help them achieve their goals separately. So that's the 3 things that I've been noticing. And then we have less than 2 months to go. But again, I would love to review the modules and the information in order to see if everything is really necessary, if we can just chop some things. Because again, one thing that I've noticed is that is way too long for having their full presence.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Like more hands-on stuff that is engaging and less like cramming of knowledge, you know? Well, that's cool that we're getting some insights here. And so I guess like the next steps would be just like reviewing the modules to see if there's anything that we can strike. And then what's the session set for next week? What's the topic?
Is about project verification and give backs, which that one is going to, for example, now in the logic of how modules are ordered, I would put that first, the verification and the rewards, because a lot of their questions are about that. So yeah, that's the next session. I already invited Nicola, and of course I would love to count with you.
Yeah, cool. I can do that. All right. And then do you plan to have like a kind of another session soon about like reviewing the progress, or like what's, I know we were doing some like retrospectives in the middle just as we go to review kind of what happened, or do we feel comfortable kind of just doing that and maybe having a sync outside of this when you review the modules? Or
You mean like between us or between them? Between us, right?
yeah, I guess. I mean, you
Wow.
did kind of give some insights here about like the things that we're learning and maybe how we can use that to inform ourselves on how to do better with the next cohort or the next season, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure, we can have a quick, maybe I would say we really do not need to have a very long alignment on this. It could be even like a 15-minute in which maybe Kotabe that's helping with the model, Franco that's reporting to, and then maybe you and Nicola that also show interested, which we can just like align very quick and um, organize who is going to give the next sessions, for example.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just kind of like that.
Okay, that sounds good. So we'll look for you to schedule something like that, and whenever you feel like it's the most useful.
Perfect.
Cool.
I have a comment about that since we can like have a little bit more of time. Um, I think that all those insights are really good. Maybe I don't know. I will add one insight that it's good. It's so good that you actually did this kind of like Google Calendar, because I saw yesterday a couple of comments like of people that if it's not on my calendar, I will just forget. So it's so good that we have it there, and maybe it's something to try to keep always. I really agree with like 3 months, like every week is a lot. Um, I don't know. Maybe I will steward. No, steward is not the right word. Try to deter or deviate some of the questions that they might have sometimes to the AMAs, and then it's kind of like having an office hours for ambassadors, especially since some of the questions can be beneficial for others, but that's just a thought. And then the last thing will be I talked with Almond about like I know a couple of people from the traditional space. Well, one person specifically that will be super interested to be an ambassador, and I gave them a catch up uh, Friday before this one, and at least this person is like super interested. But I also know that there are this is more kind of like this alpha product, which we want to. It's on our interest to kind of like preserve more. We're just testing with the people that we already have. But this person is just very excited and stoked. I recommended him to go to the AMA tomorrow. He got already updated and he's already thinking about several projects that he can upload and he has the time. So I don't know. But I just wanted to mention it because I told him like, well, right now we have this control program and it's already like advanced. I gave you the update, but like I don't know, right? Maybe it will be more for the beta testing. But he already did like all the MetaMask, all the Web3, like and most of the things, and I feel him that he's very excited. Um, so I told him like if you really want to like move this, maybe you can say okay, maybe I'm not like a initial ambassador. I don't or I will not let you do or make you do more work for me. I will be the one that can like catches up by my own feet, and only if I do the things I'll get rewarded. So that was kind of like the way that I recommended him, because I said that the group had already started, but I just want to know your thoughts, and if the beta for the next cohort is better, I'll like that's also fine. I just wanted to let you know that this guy is like super excited about this.
Just really quick on that, I think that that's also a great insight that I know and I forgot to mention here. A couple of the ambassadors that having really been committed, well, of course, if you're not like present and committed, then you're going to miss some parts of information, right? So for example, in this calendarization and organization of the times, we've been repeating multiple times that how to find and add the calendar in your personal calendar and stuff like that. And this is just an example of like if people is really not interested since the beginning and engaged since the beginning, and then they just want to like jump in the middle of the program, is not really recommended, right? Because also there's a relationship and some bondings already formed with the ambassadors that are part of. And I also noticed that some people that pop in, then they just don't come back because they notice this is something that's an advance. So in that sense, I will not recommend anyone to join half of, for example, this season, because there's already some dynamics going on that's like you're going to feel out, or you're not going to fully understand what's happening. So in that sense, I will, I know that we have 4 people now, but for me, I think that it's better to just end this pilot with these 4 people that are engaged, instead of having more that are maybe new and that will be needed us to repeat the information that we already repeated, and then the ambassadors that are fully engaged and committed, then it's kind of like repetitive information. So with special cases, I would say always think of like the next cohort.
I think that's fair enough. And um, another question with that, for example, and maybe it's also not a question for this cohort, but for further along in the process of the ambassador program. Since maybe this one is very controlled, right? And we want to preserve like this cohort, and then when we finish, have a retrospective and implement the next things. But as we move forward, there will be maybe some people that maybe do not take all the steps of the ambassador program, or but they are super excited to start contributing, and maybe they find a way. And my question is, if they do the things that help us as ambassadors or objectives, um, will there be kind of like some way to reward them for being an ambassador, even if they are not an official ambassador, or maybe this is just a question for further along in the process, like to make it more permissionless till certain extent, maybe not being a full ambassador, but like having some reward for contributing. It's just a thought.
I mean, I think like, so kind of what's coming up for me is I think, like you said, people can come to the AMA all the time and figure out how they can contribute to Giveth and get involved in Giveth and what we're doing. And I think that praise rewards are definitely one way that people can get rewarded regardless of whether they're ambassadors or not. Like if they're creating value in Giveth and for the community, then they can get praised for that. I guess like the visibility then is not so, like, unless they're joining calls and things like that, then they're just onboarding projects on their own time. Then how do we people aren't seeing that unless it's like they're coming to the AMA and sharing about that, or maybe if they're sharing in in the channels, maybe people will see it. But that's my biggest question, is like the visibility for them to be able to start receiving the praise. But I would encourage anybody to always, if they want to get involved and help to onboard projects and stuff, they're more than welcome to come and figure out how we can get involved. And I guess like at one time, this call would have been the place for some people to come, if they were going to be kind of participating in building the Giveth community or helping to onboard projects and stuff. So I don't know, maybe for now, like come to the AMA, and if he's really interested in getting involved in Giveth in general, we can like explore together the best ways for him to do that. I don't know. That's just kind of what I was thinking when I hear you say that.
I think that makes a lot of sense. I think that that's a perfect route right now.
And maybe there's like something in the future that we could do for these types of situations. Yeah, so it's not like such a structured program, and it's more decentralized and people can do it on their own time, which I guess up until this point we've had ambassadors just naturally who go out and onboard projects and have brought lots of projects to Giveth and things. So, and those people have gotten involved just organically. So I don't see why there couldn't be a way to do that. It's just the ambassador program would be like, you would definitely get more recognized and you would have this community and stuff like that. So I guess if people wanted to, yeah, wait for the next season to actually start, then that's probably the best way if they want to get the most recognition.
Yeah, absolutely. And hearing you say that, also I remember a comment that Humberto had at one call, that he said like, they also like, there's been people that we can like been of long time fans of Giveth, and we already know how to be ambassadors for Giveth. And so it will be really great for us to kind of like have some sort of very direct way of supporting like that, like having ambassadors already in your in the own networks and the own people and the people that are already supporting Giveth. So I think that, for example, Umberto will be really interested on taking on some of these missions, and also maybe being rewarded for all of these things.
Well, and I know for sure that Umberto has received praise, I'm just not sure if it's been paid out yet or at what point. And it seems like when the praise rewards are going out now, it's not very, like you're just kind of getting it. There's not like, hey, you got your praise, like this kind of thing. I don't know. I know, Franco, you were working on like more ways that people would know that they're getting their praise and that it's more like visible that you're actually receiving that, right? Since we had to go back and do some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're still like doing like distribution for last year, so it's something that we're thinking on how to announce. Maybe do some like, I don't know, maybe have a channel on Discord where whenever there's like a distribution, we can announce it. But there's this is something that maybe has to be worked with Christopher in order like to get like a message, when you get like a rewards. And this is something that Christopher is working on, not me like particularly. Like what I can do specifically is just like do an announcement for a reward on Discord. But like the message bot thing, it's something that Praise organization has to work on.
Yeah, I think that will definitely be helpful. Like when you get the reward distribution, to have the bot say something, and then if you wanted to do some sort of announcement in the channels, kind of like how we do with givebacks distribution, you know, every 2 weeks it's like, oh, you got your givebacks kind of thing. But yeah, I think that will be helpful too, because there are people who have gotten praised in the past and they just aren't they're not like seeing that they're going to get the rewards yet. So like I know Umberto has received praise. And then I'm also just not really even sure what the kind of like dollar amount is on it right now, you know? When I first started with Giveth and we were doing praise, it was like we would get probably like, I don't know, $50 or something per month, but we were also contributing quite a bit. So I don't know exactly how it will come out in the end as far as like the value of the, you know, the monetary value.
If you get like a good amount of praise, you can get up until like 30 USD. Like some of the contributors right now are getting, you know, like people who are like praised a lot, like I don't know, Lauren for example, they're like getting quite a bunch of give, so it's good.
Yeah, and I think like isn't there a bonus for people who aren't regular contributors? So it's like if you're not a regular contributor and you get praise, it's kind of like worth more.
So usually like on the calculation you get double. So if you're not a contributor, like whatever amount like you regularly would get, you get like almost double.
Yeah, that's cool. So I think like eventually people will start to see this type of rewards. It's we're still just getting it rolled out. So that will be helpful too. But yeah, definitely come to the AMA and let's see. Like let him know he can come on Wednesday or he can come tomorrow, and I will be more than happy to help see how we can include him. Maybe not in the ambassador program, but just in Giveth as a whole.
I have some opinion on this, but I'm not. I just want to be mindful of the time. And I mean, is it okay to share now, or should I keep it for the module review session?
I think you could share now that we're talking about it, and like
Okay.
kind of this right now, this ambassador program is one of our biggest initiatives as community builders. So I think it's useful.
Well, I just want to reflect back to the group that I just want to give like, yeah, I have like three kind of insights. One is as a cohort in a different in a different program, and I would just want to say that I was very inspired to join that program. It's like it's called a SheFi, right? And it's all about like women in Web3. And I learned about this program quite late, so I was jumping in about fourth week, and I had to catch up to everything. But I also at the same time I was very inspired to do that and do this catch up. So play this catch up. So I just want to share from my own perspective and also experience that maybe not being like extra rigid, but have a little bit of openness in terms of like if there is someone who's really inspired and who really really wants to be part of the ambassador program, if they can maybe just like prove some type of knowledge, or they were able to catch up and like join the group, it might be the most rewarding thing for them to experience, as well as just like addition to the program. So that's like something that I wanted to share from, you know, my own experience, because I'm loving being part of this program that I was able to join late, and it's like the value is immense for me. And another thing that I wanted to just bring in for this like discussion around rewards and people that are I'm hearing you all say that, I mean, just to summarize and zoom out, I'm hearing that it's always good for people to come and ask questions in AMA. It's always good for us to remember that we can help a lot by just being engaged in the Discord channels and support people in getting involved in these ways. I like to, what was coming up for me was that those people that are long-term fans of Give It, I believe they're also donors, and they're already getting rewarded by for their participation, just being part of the Givebacks program. And just like being part of the Givebacks program is just like such a fun thing to do and like keep being engaged regularly, you know. So that's like one thing that I believe that's also part of why those long-term friends of Give It because they love the cause, and also because they engage in a gig economy, and they're eager to like follow up on the new features, and like, you know, supporting in so many other ways that actually are supportive for them as well. So it's like both ways, you know, win-win scenarios. And something that was coming up for me was like, question is like, what happens then once this pilot ambassador program ends? What happens with the ambassadors that will be trained? What is their incentive to like stay engaged on what level? Like, what will happen then with these people? Are we planning to like do some type of like you know, follow up or engage them more into the community? I know that some of them may hope for getting jobs at Giveth and some type of like these types of like, you know, incentives. So those are the things that I wanted to just like share and bring up and yeah, mention as I'm hearing you all talk. And also, I think just speaking to the praise, I think just Franco, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that this notification around if you're harvesting give backs and it's coming from the rewards or praise, it's being implemented in a notification center.
It's already not the
It's already
notification
there.
center. Maybe it's like on
Oh,
the menu on the
table,
give
the history
stream. Yeah,
table.
the history table on the give stream. Yeah, it's already
Okay, good.
implemented.
So I just wanted to remind that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is all great insight, and I think that with all the work that we're putting into having this cohort and having this initiative going, that we should definitely keep taking these things into consideration and trying to support them as much as we can. So let's talk more about it whenever we have our sync up. But it's great. I think this is great insight from all of us as well. And figuring out how we can help support people who might want to join in the middle. I think for at least for this cohort, it's nice to just have a control, you know, so that we can just develop the program, and then maybe in the future, in the next season, it's like maybe we can come up with a way that where people can join in the middle. What do you think, Almond?
I just want
Yeah,
to
I
say, yeah,
agree.
absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Cool. All right, well, we are at the top of the hour. I don't want to cut too much into comms. I know that this has been on here, this getting feedback on the UX Katabe, so maybe you can give us some updates in the Communitas channel if that's still something that we need to talk about, but it's been on the agenda for a while now, and I'm not really sure what the status is. So,
Yeah. I'll put it on the community channel.
okay, cool. All right, well, it was good to see you guys, and we will be back again on the 30th. And in the meantime, if we need to sync on any of these products, any of our initiatives, let's have like a little separate call and we'll do that within our product group.